So you heard about the recent trans news, and this girl Hannah is the biggest of it all. She tricked us. They're saying football players and other celebrities like rappers. She's been sleeping with them, and when she sleeps with them, she puts them on blast for whatever reason. Trans woman tricks straight men and brags about it. Okay? And she got OnlyFans. Okay? And there was another one. This trans woman just exposed your favorite rappers. Okay? Now, Hennessy actually is the woman on my left and on your left. Trans women don't have to tell you the Hennessy Marie story. And I think that Miss Jenner here is debating that, which is good if that's what she is doing. Here's a guy here that I watched. He said that he was rapping to two girls at a time, and he found out from his friends that they were both trans. Okay? But let's talk about Hennessy today. She's in the news, or he's in the news. Whichever one you are comfortable with.
Marie is trending on social media because she is a trans woman that is outing Miami man that she has been with physically. But what she's doing is actually transgressive to the trans community, and it's dangerous. First of all, can she really be outing these men if they were with her thinking that she was a woman? Because she went on live and stated that she did not alert them as to her being trans, thus giving them the choice as to how they felt about the matter. And are trans women or no? Because basically what she's doing by outing them is saying, I am not a woman. That's transgressive. It goes against everything trans people have fought for, which is to be considered what they identify as, what they are. It's dangerous because it puts trans people in a negative light, making them physically in danger because of how people will perceive them based off of the things that she is doing. Hennessy Tales, also known as Hennessy Marie, is trending on social media because she is a trans woman that is outing Miami man that she has been with physically. But what she's doing is actually transgressive to the trans community, and it's dangerous. First of all, can she really be outing these men if they were with her thinking that she was a woman? Because she went on live and stated that she did not alert them as to her being trans, thus giving them the choice as to how they felt about the matter. And are trans women or no? Because basically what she's doing by outing them is saying, I am not a woman. That's transgressive. It goes against everything trans people have fought for, which is to be considered what they identify as, what they are. It's dangerous because it puts trans people in a negative light, making them physically in danger because of how people will perceive them based off of the things that she is doing.
Okay. Why? First of all, why is it men that choose to be so busy with transgenderism? You're not going to like my answer. Why is it more men that are becoming trans women than it is women becoming trans men? Okay? The women that are becoming trans men are doing it under the table. They're doing it quietly. But the men that do it want to be a siren. You don't see any trans men. That means biological women who become trans men. You don't see them on here, YouTube, like these trans women, the men. Okay, you don't see the trans men on here, the women on here, complaining about being trans as much. You don't see them on here constantly getting into it with men about being trans men. It seems to me that trans men, biological women, are content being trans men. But it's the men, the trans women, who feel that you have to ignore the fact that they were born a male and became a woman, a trans woman, later. You have to ignore that. They want you to ignore that. They want to be able to go into the restrooms with women, okay? And it's not even, you don't hear reports about men that have post-op snatches. Men who have post-op surgery down there. Vaginal surgery to give them, their man-made vagina. You don't hear about these men going into the women's locker room and pissing off all the women. No, you hear the guy going in there with his schlong, okay, and making sure all the women see that he's the only one in there that got a schlong. He's the only one in there that has, his male organ still attached. And he wants to go in there and he wants to pretend that the women shouldn't be surprised to see it hanging or see it sticking out, whichever one. Okay? And just, some women have those. God bless this woman right here and all the black women who, instead of making fun of these rappers, okay, and these football players that are getting dirty, down and dirty with trans women, thank God these women aren't so unsupportive of them and making fun of them that these men can never ever be with a biological woman ever again. Now I know in some parts of the world, once you lay down with a transgender person, it's over for you and women. You will never be with a woman again. Any woman that knows that you were once with a trans person, it's not happening. Okay? But that's my first question. Like, it's more trans women than it is trans men having these issues. My next question is, why can't trans women accept that they're trans women and that some of us are trans women and some of us are biological women? Why is it so hard for them to accept that? They know that they have to do things to their body that women don't have to do. They know they can't get pregnant. They know they're going to have sickness and diseases that women don't get, that men get. They know that their journey is very masculine. Though they try to be feminine, their journey is very masculine. Still yet. Why can't they just accept that and say, hey, we want our own bathroom? Make Target and Walmart and all these different stores give us our own bathroom for us. And they'll do it. I guarantee you they'll do it. But no, what's going on is they want to say that it doesn't matter, that there is no difference between a biological woman and a man who had to go through all this surgery, all this cutting and taking hormones and other drugs and all these drugs and all this surgery, he has to do all this to be a woman, in which he still is not a woman. He is still biologically a male with parts added and parts missing. Silicone added and muscle and tissue taken out. Why is it so hard? I mean, thank God for Bruce Jenner, that Bruce Jenner understands the journey. I guess it's because of his age. He understands the journey of being trans. He understands that Bruce said it. I watched a video just a few days ago. He said I'm a trans woman. I am not a woman. I'm a trans woman. And there is a difference. Okay? I don't understand what's so hard about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like me. You know, I am a short man. I'm not a full-size man. I'm 5'3.5". I'm smaller than the size of the average woman. The average woman is about 5'5", 5'4". I'm 5'3.5". I have no problem, and I tell people, like, you know, I was just on this dating site, you know, just to test it out. And the first thing I always look for on the dating site, because I've had problems with this, you know, graduating from high school and that, I've had problems with this. So when I go online, I do a dating site, I make sure I express to the woman in grave detail, I am 5'3.5". Now every day these women been sending me emails, okay, from the Philippines. Okay? And I know they say it doesn't matter. But when I see black men go over there to the Philippines, they're giants. And these Filipinas, they brag about their height. They brag about the height of white and black men that come over there, you know, football player size, basketball player size. They brag about that, and they get the prettiest girls, okay? And they get girls that are like my size or smaller. It's really bad, you know. But I don't think these women that are emailing me realize what 5.3 looks like. They don't realize what it looks like. Okay? They don't realize what that looks like. And I've had this issue back, you know, with other times that I've met women online. I've had to tell them, I said, you know I'm 5'3.5", right? They said, yeah, I'm about 5'2". Oh, really? Okay. That's not bad. Then all of a sudden we get together, you're a lot shorter than what I expected. I told you I was 5'3.5". I asked you if you understood what 5'3.5" looks like. You say, yeah, because I'm 5'2". Okay, well, you thought 5'3.5" was similar to 6 feet. Like, what was you thinking? You know, I've been through that. You know. I'm not ashamed, though, of my height. And I am biologically 5'3.5". Now, if they had elevator shoes, or if they could add a bone to my knee bone and my a bone that went between my knee bone and my ankle bone, okay, to make me taller, I don't think that I would. What happened? I don't think that I would if there was a bone that could go between my you know, in my foot, you know, in my leg, between my knee and my ankle, to make me, you know, a foot taller, or, you know, 10 inches taller or something. Would I do it? Probably not. Not just because I don't like surgery, but because I believe that my height is a gift. It was given to me by God. It's not a handicap. And I tell people all the time, they try to put me on a self-esteem kick. A lot of people, they say, D-Roy, how was you so short? How are you so short? And I tell them it's a gift. And they all laugh. Oh my God, that's hilarious. It's a gift. Well, it is. I mean, I'm not handicapped. I'm short just like any healthy boy who is 5'3" is healthy. Okay, I can climb up on stuff. I can use a ladder. I know how to climb up a woman's legs. I like to do that too. I like to do that. You know, I know how to climb a woman's leg. I have no problem. I have no problem climbing. You know, the legs of these tall women. You know, I have no problem with that. You know, I have no problem climbing legs. I climb legs just like a bear climb trees. Okay, I have no problem. But the thing is, to me, it's a gift. It says that God has a sense of humor. They say, oh yeah, he had a sense of humor, right? He had a sense of humor while he was on the short side of his brain. You know, they won't let it go. They won't let me just be short and be fearfully and wonderfully made, like the Bible says, in the image of God. They won't let me do it. But that's okay. This is why some of us go to hell and some of us really, really honestly love the Lord, okay? You love the Lord, you love all of his creation that he created. But some things God didn't create. Man created it. And he created it to our disfavor. He created it to ruin us and not help us. Okay? But let's say again, let's talk about Hennessy Marie. She did this. Okay?
Hennessy Tales, also known as Hennessy Marie, is trending on social media because she is a trans woman that is outing Miami men that she has been with physically. But what she's doing is actually transgressive to the trans community, and it's dangerous. First of all, can she really be outing these men if they were with her thinking that she was a woman? Because she went on live and stated that she did not alert them as to her being trans, thus giving them the choice as to how they felt about the matter. And are trans women or no? Because basically what she's doing by outing them is saying, I am not a woman. That's transgressive. It goes against everything trans people have fought for, which is to be considered what they identify as, what they are. It's dangerous because it puts trans people in a negative light, making them physically in danger because of how people will perceive them based off of the things that she is doing. Hennessy Tales, also known as Hennessy Marie, is trending on social media because she is...
All right, so my next question is, why would a trans woman, like this woman says here, See, people don't understand that when you become a trans woman, you're still gay. And a trans woman understands that she's just being a more feminine bottom is what she's doing. Or what he's doing, actually. What he is doing by being a trans woman is he's just being a more feminine type of bottom. Okay? And so I'm not surprised that, and I've known other men, you know, close and dear to my heart, right within my proximity, that have fallen into trans relationships and gay relationships. Okay? And what do these men do when they, whether they be trans or just openly gay? They love to say, oh, Mr. Christian. But wait a minute, you begged this man to sleep with you. And you kept on and kept on and kept on going after this man until he slept with you. You kept on using his Christian values and his protection of the LGBTQ community. You kept on using his kindness and him being comfortable around you. You kept on using him until you actually got him to release his private, protected possession. His best private and protected possession. You kept on until he let you in there. He let you get your hands on it. And then when the two of you were sexually fulfilled for a moment, and it's only a moment, pretty soon you're going to wake back up to reality. Both of you. Then you decided to smear him and say, "Oh, Mr. Christian somebody." This is you talking to your boyfriend. "Oh, Mr. Christian somebody. You enjoyed that, didn't you? I guess you think you gonna get up tomorrow and just go out there and act like you ain't gay? You just gonna get up tomorrow and act like, you gonna go to church and just that's all right. God will forgive you. Go ahead, go on back to church. God will forgive you." And they get mad at you because not that you slept with a trans person and you're not serious about your relationship with them. They're mad at you because you said, "Oh, I've sinned. Oh, I need to go back to the Lord, blah, 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 blah." So you go back to church and you try to act like it didn't happen. You try to sweep it under the rug. And they will smear you. And they'll smear you even if you go and say, "Hey, I have an announcement to make. I slept with a prostitute," or "I slept with a trans prostitute," or whatever. They'll even give details. And they'll still smear this man's name. And I know people that have gone through this in real time, right in my proximity. I know people that have gone through this, just like these other guys. Okay? So my motto is, it's okay to be homophobic. Just like it's okay to be, what do you call it when a man is doing street ministry? I got a friend, he died of COVID just last year. He's my best friend. He fell into a relationship with a woman. This is not a gay or trans relationship. This is a relationship with a very beautiful woman. And my pastor warned him, don't go in her house by yourself. Take another woman or a brother with you if she's okay with two brothers being in there. Well, he couldn't find nobody at the time, so he wanted to be around this woman because he wanted to minister to her. But the thing is, you want to be around her. You want to be around her so bad because she's calling your name and inviting you over. You want to be around her so bad because actually, even though you do, indeed want to do ministry, you also want to be around her because she's pretty, she's your type. You ain't been around a woman in a long time. Here a woman is calling your name and bugging you and ringing your phone off the hook. You ain't felt this way in God knows how long. And he fell for it. And as soon as he went in there, he's busy telling her about Jesus and she's unzipping his pants. And it happened. He called me on the phone that night crying to me like a baby. "Oh, I can't believe I did it. I should have listened to Pastor Carmen. I shouldn't have went in there. She did it. We did it. Hey." I said, calm down. Breathe, man. What's going on? "I went in there. I shouldn't have went in there. I've sinned against God." Oh. And I said to him, I says, "Was it good? Did you have fun?" You cry all you want to, baby. You know it was good. You know you had fun. She didn't rape you now, did she? She didn't snatch you and pull you inside her house, throw you down on the couch and unzip your pants and pin you down. No, you when you felt her soft little bony hands unzip your pants, you said, and I was reading verses, chapter verse. Let's go back to, okay, let's back up to okay, let me put this down. Oh my goodness, it's been a long time. I know what you did, brother. I can see the scene. I can see the scene. Okay, you had fun. When I did the same thing with my wife. You know what I mean? I says, I'm a Christian, right? She says, yeah, everybody talks about you. You go to church and all like that. You're trying to be sexually pure. You're trying to practice secondary virginity and all this stuff. And she was doing the same thing. She was just unbuttoning it and exposing this. And I'm like, where was I? What was I talking about? I know. Okay? And this is the thing. I want to say this about men. And I believe this with all my heart. This is why it's so important to not let anybody offend you about being homophobic. Because if you feel that something is wrong, whether it be a man or a woman, whether it be a child, okay, or somebody's pet dog, if you feel that something is not good for you to be there, it's not good for you to pet her, to play with her dog, it's not good for you to be around her son or her daughter, it's not good for you to be around his wife, it's not good for you, you know what I'm saying, because his wife be acting like, you don't have to explain it to anybody. It's just the answer is no. Anything that you feel might cause you to sin, you are free to say, I'm not doing it. It doesn't matter if you have to explain. You don't have to explain, well, okay, I'm gay. That's why I have to. That's why I don't want to be there. Or I have a thing for dogs. I like doggy sex. I used to be a child sexual offender, okay? You don't have to explain to anyone why you don't want to be there. Once you say no and you don't show up, you don't have to explain to anybody. You just don't go there. If a woman goes to hell because you had a phobia about being around a woman that you felt was beautiful and you felt that she was so attractive, you might not be able to contain yourself in there. Don't let nobody embarrass you or humiliate you about that. Just don't be there. And if she goes to hell because you wanted to protect yourself from sinning, on top of her own sins, okay? Because if you go in there and sin, you're not helping her or yourself. Now you're both in sin, you and her. If you listen to your conscience and say, I shouldn't go in there, and you don't go in there, at least one of you is still standing right with God. So it's okay to be homophobic, just like it's okay to be fornication phobic, okay? Bestiality phobic or child phobic or whatever, okay? It's okay. Because it's between you and the Lord as to why you said no. It's okay to say no to being friends with a trans person if you feel that this isn't going to go well. This is going to lead me ministering the gospel to this trans person to me sinning with this trans person, okay? And I know gay people are good for that. They run, when we do street ministry, they run a good game. You talking to them about the Lord, and they start talking about things, and they start turning words of the Bible into sex objects and all like that, and they're so good at it they don't even have a conscience about it anymore. You leave the why up to God, whether you're Christian or secular. But if you feel that you might get yourself in trouble or embarrassed or smeared or known, somebody gonna find out about you, you know what I mean? And 9 out of 10, if you go up against your own conscience, yes, the trans person or the gay person is not going to save face for you. They're not going to keep your secret. They are going to eventually, and they're going to wait until you actually repented and broke up with them and repented to God and got away from them, and then they're going to smear you, and they're going to have some kind of evidence to prove that you've been doing this behind the church walls. Okay? Now, it's okay to be homophobic. Nothing wrong with it. People say, accuse us of homophobic, and darn straight. I'm a lot of phobics about a lot of things. That's how I'm a Christian. What do you think it means when the Bible says, keep your body under subjection lest you be qualified? That means that no matter how much I want to lay down with this woman or that woman, I have to say no. And saying no means that I don't go in her house. I don't let her in my house. I don't go to the hotel. I don't go to any private place where, she might be able to wean me into this. It's the same thing with being with a trans person. Now, let's get one thing straight. There are trans women, and there are men who know how to be good at being a trans woman. Okay? There are trans women, and there are women, or men I should say, who know how to be good at being a trans woman. There are gay men, and there are men who know how to be good at being gay. They know how to get their straight man. And it's all about us. It's all about the straight men. This is what they want. A gay person might go to gay bars and sleep with another gay dude. A trans dude gets mad when he has to go and sleep with a gay person because he didn't become trans for that. The main reason, that trans men become trans women is to go from being gay to being trans. But the thing is, you can cut everything off. Okay? It doesn't matter. If you were once a man and you lay down with a man, it don't matter whether he's sticking it in a vagina or he rubbing two dongs together or just doing anal. It's gay sex. It's still gay. Because underneath all that surgery and all them hormones and all that silicone is a man. Okay? It's still gay sex. But yet, to men like these rappers and these NFL players, once you decide that you ain't homophobic, and you say, oh, okay, you're trans? Okay. And then, let's get real. If you're out with a trans dude, you done already walked past your homophobic meter. And you're talking to this trans dude, and this trans dude trans woman says, hey, I have a vagina. You know that you want to see it. Whether you want to make fun of it or you want to see if you want to test drive it to see if it's like a woman's. Especially when you ain't no virgin, you've had a lot of women. And it doesn't mean that you're not masculine, it doesn't even mean that you're gay. You want to see it, you want to test drive it. Even if it's a secret that you can't share with anybody. You want to know. You want to know what it's like. to be, you want to know, this is what you want to know. You want to know you want to know by experimenting with your own body whether a trans woman, period, a trans woman is any different than a biological woman. You want to cover all the bases and make sure that the trans woman doesn't have something better than the biological woman. And you're hoping that you're going to get into this and you're going to be able to tell your best friend that will keep your secret one day, hey man, I tried trans women. That post-op vagina, it feels like plastic, man. Transgenderism is stupid. That's what you want to say. But on the outside looking in, you're always going to be curious. And when you're a rapper, a movie star, even if you can't tell the secret, you feel that you have a right to know for yourself what it's really like. Even if you can only share with one person, like your next wife or your ex-wife or you know, your best friend in the whole wide world that won't share your secret with anybody else. It's natural for a man to want to know what he doesn't know sexually. This is how people get gay in the first place. You ain't gay until you decide that you don't like women anymore, you like men. That's what gay is. So, the first time that you lay down and had a gay experience, that doesn't make you gay. But if you lay down and you had a gay experience and you don't want to get out of the bedroom, you just want to like become lovers or go down to the gay bar and start chasing men, or go out there and start looking for trans women, because now you have this appetite for this kind of thing, and it's all you can think about. That now this trans woman or this sissy boy or whatever that you slept with last night, whatever kind of bottom he was, he done made you gay. And then these trans people and these gay men never are content with playing top and bottom. Eventually, they want you to be a full-fledged gay person. That means that you practice both bottom and top. So they'll even break up with you to see if you will let another man penetrate you. Okay? Because it's more important to imagine you being penetrated by another man and losing your gay virginity, as they call that. Okay? It's more important to them for you to lose your gay virginity than it is for them to be in a serious relationship with you that's going to last. Okay? And this is the thing, and I'm closing right here. All the gay men that I've learned in my life, now I've seen women come up as virgins, and they were virgins for a while, until they lay down with the first person. If they lay down with the wrong person, then they became a fornicator, they became promiscuous, and then they became a feminist. Because you can sit there and brag to your girlfriends all you want to, but it hurts, and it stinks. It sucks, okay? That you lay down with somebody that you're not with. You can sit there and brag about how big it was and brag about the experience, and you're so glad that you lost your virginity by this person. But the thing is, you're not together. He got what he wanted from you, and he's gone. You could not keep him, or he could not keep you. So it's a mess. It's a waste. This is why we practice things different in the church, okay? And so likewise, what these gay men are doing, what gay people do, is they have a tendency, and if you notice the swelling around my neck, and I got one here on my wrist too, if you can see it, I I got bitten by a spider today. Well, last night, got bitten by a spider. He bit me. He bit me here on the arm, on the hand, and then somehow he got around to the back, and he bit me in like 3 or 4 places back here. I got all the way to my chest. I didn't finally get him out of my clothing until he got down here to my chest. But anyway, so I got all these bruises. You can see all these bruises on my neck. But in closing, trans people and gay people, the men, I'm not talking about the women. The women, you know, are a little bit more mellow. A lot mellow, in fact, than the men are. But the trans women and the gay men, which is basically the same thing. One's more feminine and the other one's just plain Jane gay. Okay? They both start off with sex, 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 sex. And while they say they want to get married and they want to have a gay wedding and they want to get gay married and they want a lover and all this stuff, it's sex, 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 sex. And if the lover doesn't work out, it's back to sex, 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 sex. Even while they have a lover, a lot of times, they bring in third and fourth parties and it's sex, 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 sex. Gay sex. Gayism is about gay sex. It's not about gay marriage. Okay? Now, I can give credit to the trans woman a little bit to say that he doesn't really know what a woman is other than what she looks like and her goofy attitude. Which a woman is way more than that. That's why he's gay. Because if he knew a woman underneath all that, he wouldn't be gay, okay? He would search out more in her character and behavior than just her looks and what she's packing, okay? She's not just a bleeder or a breeder. She is the second human that God made. God created her to be a helpmate to the man, both sexually and femininely, if that's a word. Both sexually and submissively. God created her to be the glory of man. I'm just trying to figure out where the gay dude comes in. I'm just trying to figure out where the trans woman comes in. Then he also destroyed transgenderism in the Garden of Eden when he took a rib out of Eve, he took a rib out of Adam and made Eve. So before Eve, Adam was walking around with a part of Eve in his body. He was fully woman with a part of her in his body, but yet he was still alone. And when he put Adam into a deep sleep and pulled that part out, that rib, it probably was more than just a rib. That's probably just a biblical term for it. Okay? He made a woman that was suitable and comparable to him, the Bible says. Okay? So that blows transgenderism. It also says that God named all the animals, but yet there was not a helpmate suitable for Adam. So that he killed all that in the Garden of Eden. He killed transgenderism, bestiality, and gayism. See how I read that? He squashed all that in the Garden of Eden. And Adam said, "This is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman," because she was taken out of man. He squashed transgenderism, bestiality, okay, and all that in the Garden of Eden. He also squashed pedophilia, if you read it carefully. Not only when Cain became a murderer, But also, you know, when Noah dealt with his son, and he dealt with pedophilia when he told the men, do not prostitute your daughters. Okay? And he said, you shall not go to any near of kin to have sexual relations with them. It is an abomination. Just like homosexuality is an abomination. He squashed your pedophilia, your bestiality, your transgenderism, your gayism. She squashed it all in the Garden of Eden. That's why these atheists hate the book of Genesis. You look at the Garden of Eden, there's no way you can fall in love with a tree and marry a tree. There's no way you can be a fairy and identify as a cat or a dog or a lion or a tiger or whatever. Just can't. But I pray for Miss Hennessy, because not only is Miss Hennessy, Mrs. want to be a Mrs. Hennessy, okay? She's going to suffer, and she probably already is, I'm sure of it, suffering from STDs, AIDS, okay? And wait till she wakes up at a good old ripe age and realizes that she gave her penis to the devil. She gave her manhood, or his manhood rather, to the devil. And when the Lord saves him and delivers him from transgenderism, his package is still missing. He cannot please a woman sexually. He'll have to be single for the rest of his life if he becomes a Christian and have no sex. That's another reason why I don't practice fornication. Because I don't want nobody giving me AIDS, STDs. I don't want to have any more kids, or I don't want to have kids out of wedlock. I don't want to have more kids by women that ain't going to be with me. Okay? I don't want to pay child support when I'm trying to build me a business and go someplace in my life. I'm not giving all my business money to child support. That's another reason. But I stand in the secret place of the Almighty God. And this is where I shall be, and this is where I shall stay. They tell me that I'm going to get, blue balls. That's what my friends tell me that are non-Christians. They tell me, all my friends that practice fornication, they tell me, what blues balls is, right? I said, no, I don't even know what that is. They says, well, blues balls is what you get when you don't have sex for a long time. You start getting blue balls and it's really aching. I said, well, I guess I'm immune to that disease or that bodily problem, because I ain't had sex in 20 years. I ain't had sex since 2000. Do the math. Last time I had sex was in 1999. I've been divorced since 2000. So what are we at? 1023? Now I've dated women. But I haven't laid down with a woman that I don't agree with. I have not laid down with a woman that's not going to be my wife. I guess I'm immune to the blue ball disease. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to play this game. If you find yourself gay or trans, come to the Lord before you make any more decisions. If you find yourself in the middle of this hurdle of wondering what's going on between Hennessy and all the men out there, if you're trying to figure out why men are sleeping with trans women in the first place, if they're supposed to be so straight, I can help you with that. I just helped you with that. But Come to know the Lord. Let His Spirit dwell within you, and you will not have to worry about all this nonsense. I don't. God bless you. I am Delroy Cruz. I am your life applications officer. I will see you soon with more in a day or so. God bless.